Hello, and welcome to Did You Know Voice Acting Extra. Today we're focusing on a certain very popular, legendary character from the world-renowned Pokemon franchise, Mewtwo. Although talking creatures in the world of Pokemon were no strangers to the animated series, even within its first couple seasons, the telepathically speaking science experiment who served as the main focus of the first Pokemon theatrical film, Mewtwo Strikes Back, was certainly given some special treatment from the get-go. In the Japanese version, the 150th Pokemon was voiced by Japanese theatrical and screen actor Masachika Ichimura. Fans outside of Japan might not have heard his performance in the film, but have almost definitely heard his voice when he would reprise the role in the 2001 GameCube game Super Smash Bros. Melee, where Mewtwo was an unlockable fighter. Curious fans who might have experimented in switching the game's language to Japanese might have also been treated to some of his victory quotes that can't be heard in the English language setting, all of which are actually quotes from the movie. For the English dub of the film, the producers of 4Kids Entertainment, the show's license holder at the time, took much of the same care in the casting of Mewtwo, going outside the box of their usual roster of performers that had been heard throughout the first 2 seasons of the series. Pokemon, the first movie, was released in the American theaters on November 10th, 1999, and the ending credits revealed Mewtwo was played by an actor who chose to go by the name Philip Bartlett.
Who am I? What is my true reason for being? I will find my own purpose and purge this planet of all who oppose me.
In 2001, an actor who happened to go by the same namesake and at one point performed stage in New York passed away. And in that same year, the direct-to-video special Mewtwo Returns featured a different voice actor for the character, Dan Green, who fans will recognize as the voice of Yu-Gi-Oh!
A team of scientists working to create the world's most powerful Pokemon discovered a fossilized remnant of Mew, and from it created me.
For well over an entire decade, the passing of this man, who shared the same name as the original performer, as well as the recasting for the direct-to-video special, led many fans to believe that the memorable first voice behind Mewtwo was no longer with us. That is, until a source of information that everyone had overlooked for several years had finally come to light. A year earlier, in September of 2000, a stage show called Pokemon Live was produced by 4Kids and ran all the way up until January 2001, telling an original story that serves as another sort of sequel to the events of the first movie. As a funny little side note, Giovanni was portrayed by Darren Dunstan, who would later go on to be the voice of Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh! And eventually become the voice director for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise, still directing it till this day. While James was portrayed by Andrew Rannells, who would not only later go on to voice several characters for Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! And other 4Kids properties, and direct English dubs for shows such as Kirby, Right Back at Ya, and Sonic X, but would also later go on to become a Broadway superstar, known particularly for the part of Elder Young in Trey Parker and Matt Stone's hit musical, The Book of Mormon. While Ash and the other human characters were all portrayed by different actors, the voices of the Pokemon themselves were provided by the same voice actors from the show, including Mewtwo himself. But it wasn't until years later when fans discovered the original show pamphlet of Pokemon Live and noticed something very specific about the credits. That Mewtwo was actually attributed to an actor by the name of Goede. By comparing the performance to the original voice of the character from Pokemon the first movie, fans quickly put together that this was in fact the same person.
You do not know me, Ash Ketchum, but I know you. I am the world's most powerful Pokemon.
A stage name is a pseudonym used by actors for a wide variety of reasons, and the usage of these stage names is relatively commonplace to the world of voice acting. And that played a key part in the mystery of Mewtwo's voice finally being solved. In November 2014, a user of the Behind the Voice Actors message board, who goes by RoseBR10, tracked down actor Goede via his Facebook page to finally clarify if he was in fact the voice of Mewtwo in Pokemon the first movie and Pokemon Live. This is what Jay had to say. Thanks for your email. I am the voice of Mewtwo in both the film and the touring show. For some reason, when the tour came out, my real name was used on the information in the program against my knowledge and against union rules. My given name is J. Philip Goede. I grew up at 5046 Bartlett Boulevard in Mound, Minnesota. Thus, my voiceover name became. After some further questioning by the user, Goede continued. At the time, the job was not a big deal, as the franchise wasn't huge here yet. Frankly, I had no idea what a big deal the whole thing was what would became. I just remember spending a lot of time recording, about 2 or 3 days, and then we had to match the flap with dialogue, so they sort of had to add dialogue here and there to match it. I remember I thought it amusing that I also voiced the scientist who actually created Mewtwo, and then getting to voice Mewtwo himself. And yes, I do also remember them replacing me with another actor, but after the fact. Frankly, I think I made the producers a bit nuts. My ego is such that I didn't see any career merit in the voice work or any artistic beauty in the artwork, frankly. I was an actor, and probably a bit of a pain in the ass. I know now that it meant the world to so many people. So, there you have it. The original voice of Mewtwo in Pokemon the first movie is in fact alive and well. He currently teaches acting and movement at the Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale, and now certainly appreciates the love and support of many, many Pokemon fans. The character of Mewtwo, of course, has continued to appear in various Pokemon animations and games, but actually has not been reprised by either the English or Japanese voice actor from the original Mewtwo Strikes Back movie. As far as video games go, his original characterization was replicated by anime voice actor Keiji Fujiwara in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, once again removing any and all quotes from the English version. And in the recent Detective Pikachu game, he was played in English by Christopher Corey Smith, and in Japanese by Toru Furuya, who funnily enough voiced one of the movie-exclusive characters originally in Mewtwo Strikes Back.
君たちも来たんだね。僕は空を飛んできた。僕のピジョットならハリケーンなんてひとっ飛びさ。私の細胞がまだどこかにあります。それはわかりません。けれども私にはわかるのです。
And finally, perhaps the most surprising new interpretation of the character came in the form of the 2013 movie Genesect and the Legend Awakened. In which case, this new Mewtwo, disconnected from the first version from 1999, was voiced by a woman.
Everything that exists today is totally new, a completely alien world. And so, in truth, the Genesect do not belong in this world. The same as me.
And now it's time for this episode's random piece of trivia. Whoa, it's gonna be so random, you guys. Here we go. This time we're talking about the obscure DC Comics character Black Spider, a supervillain who'd most often appear as a nemesis of Batman. His most recent appearance as an animated character was in the 2014 direct-to-DVD movie Batman: Assault on Arkham, where he serves as a member of the Suicide Squad and is voiced by Giancarlo Esposito of Breaking Bad fame. However, earlier in 2012, he appeared in an episode of the animated series Young Justice, where a clever bit of casting occurred thanks to Greg Weisman, one of the show's co-developers. Weisman had previously co-developed another comic book-inspired series in 2008, The Spectacular Spider-Man, which starred Josh Keaton as the titular web-slinging superhero. As perhaps a nod to the similarities between the characters of the two competing comic companies, Josh was brought in for the Young Justice episode Insecurity to voice yet another sarcastic arachnid-themed vigilante in that of Black Spider. Hear any similarities?
I'm sorry. You know how it is. I'm on deadline. And so are you. I got nothing against you archers. I don't suppose you'd let me finish off Jones and go about my web-slinging way? And who are you supposed to be? Spider-Man. The real one. The real one? You don't even have the costume right. I'm in mourning for my buried wreck. Like Picklepuss will be when he's forced to print a retraction. Even the Jolly One himself knows I'm the genuine article.
Thank you guys so much for watching. This video was inspired by Did You Know Gaming, so go check out their channel and watch all their videos on gaming trivia. If you like this video, click the link to this one here to learn more about the voices behind other Pokemon and Nintendo characters. Also, if you like my voice, check out Pokemon Bridge. We do a dumb parody of Pokemon. If you like Pokemon, you might love our series. Okay, I love you. Goodbye.